Hey, it's Maximo and welcome to Maximo's Travels. In this video, I'll be reviewing the Ito Kowakien Hotel in Ito on the eastern coast of the Izu Peninsula in Japan. I'll take you through all the common areas of the hotel, including the front reception area and the lounge, as well as the hotel's convenience store, the hotel swimming pool, which was closed, and provide you with a detailed room review. Join me as I review the Ito Kowakien Hotel. We stayed for 2 nights in the Ito Kowakien Hotel. It's located a short 10-minute drive from Ito JTR train station, and it sits on the Izu Peninsula's eastern shore. The hotel has adequate free parking on site, and you can get a free shuttle bus from the Ito JR train station from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. nightly on demand. There's a big supermarket next door to the hotel, and that's the one we've just passed on the left. And that's really convenient for getting breakfast, drinks, snacks, and even dinner at your stay at this hotel. The hotel is located a little bit out of the main town in a residential area on some high hills, but there is a local train station about a 10-minute walk away. The hotel opened in 1956 and it does look like it's been recently modernized. It's famous for its Japanese architecture and the natural hot springs that make Ito a very popular spot to visit, especially amongst Japanese visitors. The hotel appears to be staffed by several elderly Japanese ladies, and none of them speak a word of English. We managed to check in without too much trouble, mainly aided by the use of Google Translate. Our phones were being passed from ourselves to the nice ladies behind reception and back again until we finally did check in. And while the hotel may look relatively modern on the outside, when you pass through the glass doors, it feels like you're transported back into the 1950s. There are the lovely Japanese ladies behind the reception desk. On the other side of the room, there is an absolutely massive wooden table selling a few bits and pieces, and beyond that there's a small lounge area and a shop. The lounge area was quite large. It could accommodate around about 20 or so people. It features floor-to-ceiling windows that provided excellent views of the surrounding street. There was also a small library where you could borrow DVDs, books and video games. Sadly, everything was in Japanese, nothing in English. Just beyond the lounge area there was a small shop. It sold different souvenirs and gift items, as well as some snacks, drinks, beer, sake, and a few light meals, including instant noodles. We didn't buy anything from this store, but we did go to the big supermarket next door to get a meal and some snacks and breakfast over the next few days. If you're enjoying this video, then hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you want to be notified of all my future videos, hit that notify bell. If you'd like to see more videos like this one, then please consider supporting my channel by buying me a coffee. Even though there was a reasonable selection of beers and sakes available, they were much cheaper in the large supermarket next door. You could also get a selection of different milk puddings that the Ito area is hugely famous for. Next door to the shop was the location for where you pick up your yakata from, as well as a tea and coffee making station, somewhere to get soft drinks, and where the ice machine was located. The windows from the lounge also provided a great view of the Japanese garden and a large pond featuring Japanese koi. There's a small lounge on the ground floor, and that's basically the entrance to the onsen. This lounge area features a couple of vending machines as well as another small library. There's a male and female onsen down here. I didn't go in, but here's some pictures that I've taken off the internet of the onsen. The onsen features indoor and outdoor baths, and it does look quite nice, and it does look like it has been recently renovated. Rather strangely and perhaps old school, you'll find a table tennis table on the basement level, as well as the swimming pool. Because it was winter, this area wasn't open. It didn't look that inviting, but I'm sure with a few tables and chairs and a bit more greenery, it'd be a happening place to be during the summer months. The pool looked to be around about 20 metres long and a good place to be able to do laps when it's open in the summertime. The hotel certainly had an old school look and feel and aesthetic to it, probably helped by the dark wooden floors along the main corridors, especially on the ground floor. Even the corridors on the upper floors had that 1950s motel chic about them. The hotel had one slow elevator in it, and we found it easier and quicker to use the stairs most of the time rather than waiting for the elevator. Although if you did use the elevator, you would be tempted by the vending machine that was located adjacent to it. 2 nights in a Japanese twin room cost about 39,000 Japanese yen, around about 400 Australian dollars or 260 US dollars. This didn't include breakfast or dinner, so I won't be providing a review of what the food is like at this hotel. It appeared that breakfast and dinner at the hotel were fixed menus, and given that the staff here didn't speak any English and it was unlikely that we'd be able to vary the fixed menus, it was decided that we wouldn't eat here, given my and Joe's dietary requirements, which is a shame because the food did really look good here. If you've eaten at this hotel, share your thoughts in the comments. We were staying in room 319 on the 3rd floor. So this is a little entrance area. It's a place for your shoes. Separate toilet and a little hand basin. A door separates the bathroom and entrance hall to the main bedroom. The main bedroom is quite spacious, and it was a twin Japanese style room that was on tatami mats and featured raised futon beds. It was a very comfortable room. The beds were quite comfortable, and it was relatively easy to get in and out of them because they were slightly raised. There was a small cupboard with some hanging space, and there was a shelf under the cupboard to provide additional storage. To the side of this was a small desk. I don't know what you'd use this for because there wouldn't be any chairs available for this, and under that desk was a small safe. There was a telephone and a couple of PowerPoints located here as well. There was also a small storage area that was suitable for hand luggage rather than suitcases, which we kept outside in the foyer. A double PowerPoint there, bit of storage there. Another double PowerPoint there. And we have a fridge, empty fridge, a kettle. Oh, what do we have here? Couple of chairs and a table. What's the view like? A little bit industrial, I would have thought. Yeah, but it is a view. There's a widescreen TV. There's some storage for tatami mats. An additional doona. It's quite a spacious room, really. There's it should be the beds look quite low. With only one pillow each, but it's quite a spacious room, and I think The fact that we've got some proper chairs, albeit a bit low, should make this quite comfortable. And we have a Japanese style shower and bath. The bath looks like it's seen much better days. This looks unrenovated. And there's a little stool with complimentary shampoo, conditioner and body soap. And that is the shower, a 2-stage shower. I think quite functional. A fair bit of space there. Little towel rails. All in there, it looks pretty decent. Even though this hotel opened in the 1950s, it was quite a comfortable stay. The beds were comfortable, the room was comfortable and roomy. The bathroom was a bit tired but functional and good. The air conditioning was quite effective and not very noisy at all. And the hotel facilities were quite good, including the onsen and free on-site parking. We had low but quite usable tables and chairs in our room, and the big supermarket next door meant that we could self-cater for breakfast and dinner and have it in a room without too much trouble. My only regret is that I didn't try the breakfast or the dinner in the hotel due to our dietary situation, but what I saw off the internet, it did look quite good and of good quality. I don't think this hotel gets many Western tourists, and the staff don't speak English at all. So if you're intending to stay here, come equipped with Google Translate. And if you're wondering what that is, it is a can of lemon alcoholic drink that's 14% alcohol by volume. That's Joe's drink. And it was bought for less than $2 at the supermarket next door. Now, given the cost, location, and the amenity of the hotel, I'd give this a Maximo rating of 4 out of 5, and I'd have no hesitation in staying here again. I do hope you've liked the review of this hotel, and stand by for future videos of other hotels and different attractions and sites from Japan. Until next time, you take care and bye now.